Damn.
Baby. Not baby.
Damn, like it just that even hurt my hands. Like greetings, salutations, what's good everybody? It's your boy Card here with my partner in crime.
Hey guys, what's up? It's OTK.
And we are here today for Soul Leveling Season 2, stemming from Season 1, which I've also uploaded all the videos for Season 1 on YouTube already. Season 1 generally, well, from I don't know if you remember your feelings from Season 1. It literally was a year ago.
Yeah, it has been, right? Yeah. I sort of remember the show, obviously, because we watched it. I remember the things that happened. I don't remember how the season ended.
He has an army of shadow people now.
Right.
That's neither here nor there. We're gonna get right into episode 1 of Season 2. Sungjina, baby sister. And now his voice is way deeper. The glow up. I can't wait to see how they animate the new creature designs. I think that was also one of your favorite parts from Season 1.
Previously on like this, it feels old school.
Yo, they did him so wrong. The anime actually not even over animated. They made it more gruesome what happened to him. That's the other girl from Season 1.
I'm like, okay.
Big villain energy.
Pop color glasses, deep voice, looking down on where he's from. An airport? Yeah, that's a villain.
Oh, yeah, he abandoned his homeland. This man came back from trying to live the American dream. Abandoned his whole country. So they're blending new stuff with yeah. I wonder if they was gonna still do the same thing to flesh out other characters. That scene definitely was. Telling the E rank to limit his participation when he has all these other people who are technically of a higher rank.
It feels like the very first time.
Oh man. Yeah. Oh man. I don't have much faith in thanks to Marvel Rivals team composition.
She clocked. She clocked. She clocked. She clocked. She was like, that's great and all.
Yeah. Oh man. She was like, yo, boy, they didn't recognize the arrows. He just it's instincts.
Yeah, it's that thing of sometimes it doesn't matter the rank even in the real world. It's about who's taking charge.
Yeah. Damn. Damn.
Baby. Not baby.
Damn, like it just that even hurt my hands like looking at it. Oh
No,
wow.
he's
Jeez.
just a baby.
Oh, he's dead now, unfortunately. It's the fits.
Girls.
Don't ask you. Oh man. They're about to find out.
Seems bigger than the other one.
Yeah, you're about to find out. I thought he was E rank. Change title. But if he survives this, it's going to directly you know. Oh.
He's big 90s villain energy.
Yep. He's after him for a different reason, though.
Big idiot.
Jesus. Bless you.
Thank you.
Looks like an even match numbers wise. Oh man.
Oh, he's testing out his army. Okay, fair.
Oh man.
And to think if the tank wasn't like, hey, let's separate. I mean, I get it,
yeah,
but also like.
Yep. Oh, the boy. Or as a lot of people say, this is one of the best girls. Oh, the OST. Oh. All right. Oh, I forgot he has magic ones, mages. That's a big boy.
Always got a hairdo. That's always so funny to me. That monsters and fantasy things, you know, it's the leader because it's got a hairdo.
Yep. All right, Jesus.
Yeah, a hairdo and a magical eye with some scars.
Yo, that drained his MP immediately. Sheesh. Oh, it's gonna take more than that.
Monsters, but I'm feeling bad. Like, I really do. I genuinely be feeling bad. I'm like, my little heart is broken right now.
Yo. Maybe weaker than the monster you summoned. Boy, oh boy.
Protecting their territory, man. Don't walk into people's homes and expect them not to want to tell you to get the fuck out. Like, that's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's a lot.
Well.
Oh, hey. He said, hey, girl.
Yo.
Ooh, he said, bye, girl.
Yep. All these designs, man. But for the first episode, you know, just thinking about like how things were set up, you know, I very early when Solo Leveling was announced for anime adaptation, and I was thinking and doing concepts about how they would go about like dividing the series and seasons. I thought that the Red Gate would make an appearance at the very end of season 1, and that would be like the major cliffhanger. Because it was like, I just thought about it like, all right, well, if you have the Red Gate, like them, you know, basically just walking, like it could be like, you know, an after credits thing, like people, they're all walking to the Red Gate and then they get through it, and then, you know, the gate turns from blue to red and you're just like, wait, what's going on? That's new. Like I thought that would have been a crazy cliffhanger, like, at least like that's how I would have did it. But I did forget that there was also the reason why they had to even get to this gate in the first place was because of, you know, our girl here, basically to convince her about this line of work as an E-rank. Because there's one thing we talked about at length in season 1, the questions you had about, all right, well, just because you're E-rank, that doesn't mean you shouldn't be working out, right? Like even if you're locked behind this level, even if you naturally, we know in this world, once you're born and once you awaken, right, unless you reawaken, you're typically going to just be in that rank that you were born with or the rank that you awaken when you become a hunter. So, you know, she awakened as an E-rank hunter. There is no chance for her, unless she reawakens, to become stronger than whatever maximum limit she can achieve, even through working on everything, right? So E-rank hunters, pretty much, they're while they're, you could say, stronger than your typical human, because they can, you know, utilize, you know, certain types of magics and stuff like that, they're still are not equipped to like handle anything like what he couldn't do by himself, right? So I guess you could say that's what they wanted to really illustrate, just how, you know, I guess you say the dynamics in the world go about, because season one, like, he was like, yeah, you're E rank, but you can still work out, like you can still tone your body, you can try to get faster,
build stamina, build stamina, build a bit of speed. I understand being, again, we discussed this in season one, but to reiterate, I completely understand being, you know, having a stopgap to how much power you can achieve in the magic system and in the skill system. But for your body itself, it doesn't matter how, because in the real world too, there are people who are going to be stronger than you, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you yourself can't build a certain amount of strength,
Yeah.
right? And, you know, with Jinwoo, it kind of illustrates my point that the only reason why he's so big and strong and he's glowed up is because he's had an opportunity to do that, right?
Yeah.
With the running, with the extra dungeons, you know,
the daily quest that forces him to do it,
right? So aside from like everything else, he's still running in the real world, right? He's building his stamina, he's getting faster, he's getting stronger, you know, he's doing all these things to better himself, but is still trapped behind the E rank. So yeah, it proves my point that you can do all these things and your physical skill level can still outrank your actual magic skill level, you know, however it is. It really depends on the person, because as we see here, even though you're what the tank was what A level, you could be A level. That doesn't mean that you're gonna beat every B level monster. Just it's just how the world works. So that's always gonna be my thing. Like I to apply real world logic to a system that would also apply in the real world in a way, right?
Yeah, because people would just say it's genetics. Like if you're born into, just because you have the genetics to be, you know, like to be an athlete, doesn't mean that even if you don't have those genetics or are not gifted, right? There's like people who have natural, who are talented, right? And then there are the people who work hard, right? And that's always a debate. Can hard work beat people who are naturally talented, right? And then you have the people who are already gifted, who then also work hard. So now they're really truly ahead. Like, so that you can relate that to what's happening, let's say with this. You have somebody who wasn't gifted, who's not technically talented, versus other people who are gifted. Because what about the people who are born into being A rank and S ranks, right? They already have that. But now you have a character who was, you know, basically E rank. We know as the viewers that he's much stronger than the E rank, right? But now you're getting other people catching on. They're like, all right, you know, he reawoken, but even from reawakening, you know, he still had to work out, he still had to train, and the system is forcing him every single day to train. Like, for the reasons why, don't know, right? But yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing with bodybuilders, right? When you think about it, bodybuilders don't start out with all the muscle they have at the end during the competition. They have to work at that. You know, depending what it is, some drug use, whatever, but they still work hard. Your body isn't naturally in the state of extreme musculature. Your body isn't in a state of extreme speed. For some people, obviously, there is an innate talent, like you said, genes and stuff like that. But just because you run fast doesn't mean your breathing is good, doesn't mean your stamina is good. You know what I mean? You have to train to build how to breathe in these situations. You have to train your heart, train your muscles to get used to it. And that's kind of how I see it. Like, it doesn't matter what rank you are. You could still be the best. You could still be like good at basketball. That doesn't mean that someone who's a rookie who's had to work really hard isn't going to beat your ass. It's all about, you know, hubris and ego at that point, which I guess is also one of the themes of this show. Just because you're a high rank doesn't mean you know what you're talking about.
Like you could easily end up like homeboy right now running away. Whole team smoked leadership. Him is immediately assuming that, it's funny because he was like, why am I assuming the E rank was the leader? Well, his presence, the way he talked, the way he carried himself, right? Presented himself like he's, you know, not really like an E rank, because at the end of the day, you don't need a like leadership. Just because you are a higher rank doesn't mean that you're a good leader, right?
Yeah, I mean, what is it that we say out in the real world, right? Fake it till you make it, and confidence is key.
Yeah.
It's all about how you present yourself and how you're there and how people perceive you. Because you could also be the strongest in the room, but if you're hiding in a corner, or your shoulders are slumped, and people are going to think you're a bumbling oaf. I mean, we see that all the time, right, with like bigger characters. Just because someone's like big and fat or something, or in the corner or slouching, and then they go, oh, really, uppercut to the moon and shit, and you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
sure. Or wow, that guy moves really fast. Like, I think one of my favorite examples would be like Nick Frost's character in Into the Badlands, where Nick Frost is a naturally bigger guy in real life and obviously on the show. But because of how he presents himself kind of as like a swindler, um a funny con man kind of thing. And because he's a big guy, people underestimate him.
Yeah.
But he's one of the best fighters on that show. Like, just his skill alone and what he's taught himself and what the people who train him. He's such a skilled fighter. You can't sometimes first appearances, like, it can be deceiving.
Yes.
And I think that's another theme of the show, right?
Yeah.
For first glance can be deceiving. And even though we see Jinwoo starting like out like small and weak and meek and long hair, but like he's a go-getter. He wants to do this. He has a goal. I think that's another thing too,
Yeah.
where even though it's a power fantasy, I think there's also a bit of hope in it, right? You have to, if you want to achieve your goal, you have to work at it.
Yeah.
Now he was forced to work at it. That's kind of where I was just like in the first season, like, okay, he's spending all this time, he wants to achieve this stuff. Like, boy, go for a run.
Yeah.
Like, why does death need to bring you to the idea that I need to start, doing a 10K?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just you should have been doing that already. Like,
yeah.
But sometimes certain circumstances reawaken you, open your eyes to a situation on how you can better yourself, how you should better yourself, and push yourself beyond the limits of expectation, beyond what standards are put on you, beyond what the world perceives you as. You just have to push yourself and work hard to achieve those goals.
Yeah. Yeah, and it fits the name solo leveling,
Yeah.
You gotta do this most of the time. You gotta do this for yourself, right? Because I alone get stronger pretty much, right? And of course you try to incorporate the people around you. In this particular episode, just diving into the summons, right? It's him testing out now, like, because it's interesting. You go from soul leveling, where he's training by himself and getting strong by himself, to now he has technically a whole army. Like, he has his own strike team, right? The whole one-man army. Well, now he's no longer just one-man army, because he actually has an army. But still, becoming a necromancer, that was the class that he got, the Shadow Monarch, Shadow King. Now you have to actually train your troops, because it's one thing for him to say lead people. Now he's leading. Now, in all the other times he's been taking the back seat, right? And now a part of this strike team, which was for the White Tiger Guild. So so just to clarify, I don't know if that was clarified. The original strike team was it's like a trial run for the White Tiger Guild. The tank guy at the very end did mention that this is what his goal was, to get into the White Tiger Guild. That's why the one of the leaders of the, well, if it wasn't the leader, no, I think he is the leader. Our tiger guy basically came to the Red Gate and just like, what's going on? He's trying to pound in it to get there. He's S rank, he can't get in. Hong Dok-soo, who is the older brother that we saw in season 1, is there now. So that's another S rank. So you got 2 S rank people that can't get into this gate, right? Obviously, like, that's just the confines of what's going on, right? And you have Sun Jin-woo, who is now leading a team, and it's just like everyone just fell into line. And now it's also him saying that, well, I'm leading one team, but that's regular humans, but now I have to test out my powers with these with the Shadow Army, pretty much. And you see that, all right, well, these guys are good, they can fight these other magical beasts, but it also creates the conundrum that is draining his MP, right? And then he's even scaling himself against the Igris, or Iggy, as a lot of people will call him in the community. Like, he's scaling himself against Igris, and right now he feels that, damn, like had an eye had like, you know, like if the ball didn't break this way, or you know, the other allegories and whatnot, like he would be dead, right? You know, if he didn't have some luck, if you know, and if he didn't have also skill, it could have been his head that would have been rolling. But just because he was just powerful enough, you know, to have the chips fall in his favor, you know, that's why, you know, Iggy is now under him, you know, and also accepted him after he did, you know, Arise, as everyone would famously remember. Iggy is super powerful. He took out the bears, the ice. That they, from what I remember, with this particular arc, they I think they really outdid themselves. Not looking at it, because I was just wondering like how season 1's animation was good. I felt right. I think it was consistent, and I think people were expecting that. It's just now, for what they showed in the trailer, because I know you didn't see it, but now you see it here, like in the actual anime opening itself. I was just like, bro, what is this? Is looking absolutely crazy. But but now we're getting, you know, the story is being fleshed out a bit more, which I personally do like, and I think for anime onlys, I think they'll like that as well. I think you're liking it as well as they're fleshing it out. And now it's like, all right, well, now that he's getting stronger, and now they can do all these different flashier stuff animation wise, because now he's stronger. Like you can't really do this if he's like weak, as you know, what he was doing when he like when he didn't have this power in the system.
I think the upgrade in animation is also to show the upgrade in your character.
Yeah,
I think that's part of the visual magic of storytelling, of this brand of storytelling, right?
Yeah,
you're not going to be flashy in his first couple fights because he's not a flashy guy.
Yeah,
there's the trauma within like that first extra dungeon that appeared because of how strong that dungeon is, right? The absolute terror of having something so powerful and what that does in the animation sense. But he's still pretty weak, and as we see he gets stronger, I feel like that's what I perceive it as. The animation is also getting stronger to talk about how he's getting stronger, to talk about the confidence he's building, the strength he has. And also it's season 2. Since this is a webtoon, a webtoon, drawing and animation, as we know, are two different things. I mean, sometimes one is better than the other, vice versa. But considering the type of teams that they have on this, it's like, of course they're gonna want to add extra pizzazz. They're gonna want to add extra action, because you need to add extra action instead of just panel after panel after panel. Like we even see it in comic books, right? Certain depending on the artist, one page will be like just the silhouette of a character, but you're telling the story through the stuff around the character, or we get big splash pages, or then we start getting the clangs and the bangs in the fights, or you know, the uses of magic and power. I think that's what's happening here, and I think that's so, if that is the intent, that is so smart. That's so key to this stuff like this, because not only is it keying us into our main character and watching his journey, but it's building our expectation of what's to come, right? If we're this good at episode 1, season 2, episode 1, that just means he's gonna get better. That just means the animation's gonna get better. That just means the monsters are gonna get better. The fluidity of motion is gonna get better. Or even if it stays the same, we're in a good place. This isn't bad, right? So even if it doesn't grow, I would be a bit surprised. But this first episode really good looking.
And knowing, like I said, I know of course it's gonna happen since I finished Soul Leveling. I guess you could say I more so surprised now that I think back about the animation from season 1 to season 2, jump in animation quality season 2. It mirrors it, because even though in the webtoon, the author just like the panels and the artwork just got better as the series went on. And the thing that made Soul Leveling like super famous was how great the art was. Of course it being like a seinen, I can't say really shonen based series, but you could, because shonen, the character would be much younger. I would say this is more of a seinen, given that the nature of stuff that's gonna happen in the near future, especially with how many limbs have been flying. You don't really get that in much shonen. But yeah, knowing how much darker the story is supposed to get, yeah, I think A1 Pictures, I think this was the best, one of the best hands. I mean, a lot of people wanted this to be in other studios' hands and whatnot, but I mean, hey, they just thinking about the totality of what's going to be happening in the near future. Yeah, things are going to be looking up. Things are going to be looking up.
And I also just want to shout out to the studio because right now our video for solo leveling is on pause. Looking at the frame of the two guys from the White Tiger Corps, it looks like a comic panel. So I also think that's a wonderful skill to have as animators, to be able to translate that so that it feels reminiscent of looking at your screen and looking at what the original artist did. And yeah, I think that's definitely like if it makes you, I don't know, because like I haven't read it, but looking, I'm just like, yeah, you could just pop that in a book and take out the color and it just looks like a manga panel, a manga panel. So yeah, this episode was good. I thought they did a good job at the previously on. Like I said, it reminded me of like old school animes like that are, you know, previously on Solo Leveling. The narration was key. Voice acting was good in this episode. I think pacing was fine. Oh, it's a very good way to jump into the second season because it really does pick up right after season 1. Right. I don't feel like much time has passed, if any. And yeah, I think it's good. I think I ranked this like at for season opener, including how I feel about the themes, opening and ending. I give it a 9. I give it a 9.
Yep. I'm at that 10 because that's that bias plus 1. Yeah, like knowing that TK ending like really got me like, yo, damn. And then seeing the opening animation with Lisa's song with Felix, because I was just like, I did forget once again that Felix Stray Kids was gonna be on the song. I didn't know how, like, because when they announced it, that Lisa, Lisa was gonna be doing the track, I was like, oh, I said Lisa's doing the track. All right, that's because A1 Pictures, they like Sword Art Online has been A1 Pictures like baby, and that's where Lisa pretty much like blew up her career from. And so I'm just like, all right, so it makes sense. She's usually been on a lot of things that has to deal with A1 Pictures. They got a good working relationship. But then I'm just like, all right, we have Lisa on the opening and TK on the end. Like, what? Like they're like two different like realms of artists. And so I'm just like, all right, this has to be craziness. And then the music compositions, I believe Sawano is still doing the OSTs from it. That's why I was like so surprised that we were getting this OST as the monster fighting was happening too. So I'm just like, all right, they're setting my expectations up, but you know what, I'm gonna say 9. Because I want to say 9 because when we go over the entire season, I would like to be like, yo, this season was a perfect 10 out of 10. So
and just because we started as a 9, whether we fall or it really, in my opinion, when it comes to stuff like this, it really is about sticking the landing. Because you can have a really bad episode 1, a good middle, and a bad end. You can have a great episode 1, a bad middle, bad end. So we gotta, I'm excited. This
horse race has to, can continue. Like the horse drawing that we get and whatnot. Yeah. So I think the number one thing gonna be looking at is how do they handle the pacing of the adaptation. Right now a lot of people in the community are worried because they're saying that season 1 was already, it had decent pacing for what people are speculating for season 2 to happen. They feel that things might be too rushed, so we gotta see, and I'll give my opinions on the pacing. Like, I think the way that they've animated and adapted it, that this pacing is gonna work out because it's a lot of fights, and we also had anime original filler in this episode as already to begin with. So if they're already doing that, then that means I feel like the pacing is gonna be on par. So it's just a matter of how much anime original, well, I can't say filler, it's anime canon. How much anime canon are they going to add to flesh out the series? Because like, if we're gonna get more interactions with Chae-yen, I'm all for it. If we get more interactions with other characters other than the main character, even though the show is all about him, you know, it's how they're going to do the world building around him that make people feel like, all right, the series in the world is truly alive. So yeah. All right,
I'm excited.
Yeah, great way to start off the year for brand new season. Folks, we'll be catching you guys next week with some more Soul Leveling. So stay tuned, everybody. I already know. Doses.